As we look to our future and our present of this conference, we've now heard about inclusion, we've heard about impact, we've heard about innovation. So there's only one item can come next, which is inspiration. And truly, there's no one else other than the next speaker that we could welcome on the stage to give us just that. We are honored that our next speaker is not only a board member of 1 Million Startups, but really one of the strongest supporters of our community and our guest of honor at many of our conferences. Please welcome for our dose of inspiration, the legendary investor and President Emeritus of the European Business Angel Network, Candace Johnson. Candace, as always, it's an honor to have you here. Please take it away. Candace, I think you're still on mute to have our bingo complete. There you go.
Yeah, so it's great to be here, and thank you again for the invitation, and congratulations on this great conference. Actually, I would, if you don't mind, I would like to just share a few slides. If you can let me share a few slides. Is it ready? Can I do it? Okay. Oh, it says it's been disabled. Is it possible to share some slides or not? Hello?
We're making sure to make that happen in 1 second. You will get the right in 1 moment.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah. So interesting to hear from everybody. So, yeah.
While we're making sure that you have the right to share your slides, I think that just happened. So you should be able to share your slides.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So I'll just... So wonderful. So, first of all, I've given so many, inspirational speeches for 1 Million Startups. And so I decided that what I really wanted to speak with everybody today was 4 things that are inspirational in the end, but are, I think, much more really very, how can I say, very inner. And so the first one is righting wrongs, making decisions, my slogan, and personal responsibility. And I think that when you do that you will then be inspirational. So, 35 years ago, I used to start speeches to entrepreneurs with this slide, 35 years ago. Way before the SDGs came into place, way before the idea of making global impact came into place. And these were the things that I thought were important in life. And really, it was a question of righting wrongs. One time I was at a conference sitting next to Sherry Kutu, who I did not know at the time. And we all had to say to each other, we had to turn to the person on our right and say, what makes us tick? And so at that time, I turned to Sherry, and Sherry, one of the great entrepreneurs and investors and philanthropists now, I turned to her and I said, righting wrongs. So for me, it was a wrong that people had energy and some people did not. It was a wrong that people were hungry. It was a wrong that some people were not educated. It was a wrong that women and men did not have access to equal access to employment and to payment. All of these things were wrong for me. And so I decided that these were the goals. These were my goals. And these were goals that I told people you should be solving. And, today it is so very clear that all of these goals can be solved, and they can be done with satellites, which is what I use, with internet, with mobility, etc. And the most important thing, because we are talking about 1 million entrepreneurs, and we're talking about bringing, making change, bringing about huge change. And we're not talking about small businesses. There are lots of organizations that are focused on small businesses, and they do a great job, and the small businesses do a great job. But we at the 1 million entrepreneurs, we are talking about bringing huge change. And particularly now with our 1 million female founders accelerator, we are talking about change on a global scale. Now, in order to do that, in order to really bring about change, it takes an enormous amount of energy and commitment to everything that you do. So this is the second part of my discussion with you, making decisions. How do I make a decision when I'm going to start a new venture? And I've started about 15 new ventures in my life. And so the way that I do it is I say, okay, if I do this, I am going to be, committing my energy, my soul, my intellect, my time, those around me who I love, I will not be seeing them as much. So I apply a three-pronged decision making. The first is the mind. Okay, do I really think that this venture is going to bring about change, that it's going to make that impact that I want to? And I am not futzing around here. You have to be very, very clear with yourself. Is this really going to be able to be done? And then can I do it? The second one is the heart. If you don't do something with heart, you're just not doing it. People call it passion, people call it heart. It doesn't really matter, but it is the heart. It is knowing that what you are doing is the right thing to do, and that no matter what, you will always follow that straight line of doing the right thing. And then the third thing is my gut. So it's something inexplicable, but scientists increasingly are saying, your gut affects every single part of your human being. And so if you have that mind, the heart, and the gut to go onto a venture and to say, I'm going to bring about this change, and I'm not going to stop until I've done it. And I'm going to have a happy day. For me, happy days are when I have brought about change. They're not about me getting very rich. I haven't gotten very rich, but they are about really bringing about change. And that's what makes me happy. It's part of that, righting the wrong. So we've already talked about entrepreneurship versus small business. And so all of you, and I'm really speaking to you, entrepreneurs who are now saying, okay, we are going to be focusing on the SDGs. The SDGs are the only thing that's important in life today. This is what we have to do. We have to make our planet better. We have to make our life better. We have to make a better future for everybody. So, you need to be strategic, solution-oriented. You need to be able to articulate and communicate the vision. Some people came to me and said, oh, Candace, you're not doing Excel sheets. I go, I don't do Excel sheets. I move mountains. If you want somebody to have an Excel sheet, you go to them. If you want the mountain moved, you come to me. This is my daily business. So, here again, when I was speaking with Salma this morning, she said, Candace, you're always thinking big. And I want you to tell everybody to think big. You have to think big. My wonderful goddaughter, who actually, when she did her PhD thesis, she thanked me, her godmother, for having put her into the scientist role. And, recently she's gotten very excited. She's 30 years old. She's gotten very excited about clean meat. And so she said, well, I may be going to go to a research organization. I said, Victoria, don't be ridiculous. Sorry, I'm just gonna not answer that phone call. I said, don't be ridiculous. You have to go and really change the world, because clean meat is going to help solve the hunger problem. That's the problem that you have to solve. And of course, there won't be any sleep. But why sleep when you're doing something fantastic? So important. And also always think addressable market, think global. I go crazy when people tell me, oh, we're going to start in this community and then we're going to go to this department, etc. No, you have to, this person really wants to get in touch with me, I'm sorry. You have to think global. You don't maybe have to start global, but you have to think global. And you have to put your idea down on 2 pages of paper, back it up with financials, and go for it. And you must build. Think, build. Venture building is a word that more and more people are understanding. I'm the chair of Seraphim Advisory Board. It is the largest space tech venture firm in the world. I was in the United States, and people said, okay, well, what do you want to do? And I said, we want to build firms. We want to build global, spectacular, successful firms. And always get people who are better than you, okay? One time I did a mistake and my dad got really mad at me. He said, Candace, you didn't take the best people. And then he told me, it's hard to soar like an eagle if you're surrounded by turkeys, okay? So, work hard, never ask others to work harder than yourself. And of course, an entrepreneur is a leader. You need to lead. And I always loved the poet, Paul Éluard, who said, the poet is not he who is inspired, but he or she who inspires. And so if we're talking about inspiration today, you want to inspire. You don't want to be inspired. You want to inspire other people to do great things and to help you achieve your goals. And, I'm always thinking about the next step. And this is so important, because if you think about it, if you plan for growth, growth doesn't happen. You have to plan for it. So you have to do your business plan. You have to think, okay, where am I going to be 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years? When people tell you that, it's for a reason. It's because if you haven't planned that, the entrepreneur has the roadmap. The entrepreneur has the vision. They're the ones who can say, this is what we want to do. And, so I'm always also talking about personal responsibility. Personal responsibility, everybody has something that makes them tick, but for me, righting wrongs, making decisions, and personal responsibility to the vision, to the stakeholders, your employees, your team members, your shareholders, to the universe. Anything that we do today, if we cannot say we're net zero or whatever, we shouldn't be doing it. It's as simple as that. We just say no, and we get onto the right course. And of course, at the end of the day, you're the one who has to look at yourself and say, have I lived a good life? Have I given impact? Have I made the world a better place? And if you, at one point in your life, think that you're getting off the track, you need to get back on it, because this is the only way that I think we as entrepreneurs can go forward and bring about those changes, that we need to do. And, I was again speaking with a friend just yesterday, and very, very nicely, a lovely article, came out about me in Fortune magazine on women in space. And so she said to me, she said, Candace, they didn't talk at all about an event in your life where you basically kept the skies of Europe open for freedom of choice. And, I said to her, I said, that's true. Some people still have to die before I can talk about it, or it can be talked about. But in your life, I have my slogan, and my slogan is never accept no for an answer, never give up, and never go away, even when others want you to. And if, whatever your slogan is, if it makes sense to you, if it helps you right those wrongs, if it helps you make decisions, if it helps you keep that personal responsibility, that you want to make certain and have some words that make sense to you. And, many times I've been with you, and so these are my ABCs of realizing the dreams. Actually, they're not mine. They're by Abigail van Buren. And the only thing I don't like about it is dreams, because I always say visions, because dreams stay dreams. Visions are happening. And, 2 or 3 of them: don't give up, don't give in. I, ignore those who try to disturb you. K, keep on trying no matter how hard it gets, it will get better. Q, I love this one: quitters never win and winners never quit. So they can give you this after the speech today. And I'll stop with this picture. This picture was, it's in my kitchen. And it was at a time in my life, I was 24 years old, and I had the idea of the Steinway Hour. And I met Mr. Steinway at a cocktail party that I wasn't invited to, but I just went anyway. And I met him, and I told him, I said, I've got a great idea for you, the Steinway Hour. He said, okay, sounds good. And so then, I proceeded to call every day for 6 months, didn't get him. Secretary always saying, no, he's, not here, in a meeting, on the phone. Finally, I called at 7:30 in the morning, and I said, okay, Mr. Steinway, this is Candace Johnson. He answered at 7:30 in the morning. He was there. And he was about 65 at that time. And I said, I really believe in this. And, I think this will be great for the Steinway and company. And said to me, Miss Johnson, did you really believe my secretary when she said I was on the phone, I was not there, I was in a meeting? And I said, yes. And he said then, okay, we'll do the Steinway Hour with you. And so it's not the fact that I was persistent. That wasn't important. The important thing was I believed in what I was doing, and I believed it would bring about a change. And so to all of you entrepreneurs who are going out and, making the world better, hang on to your beliefs, keep on going, right wrongs, make good decisions, and always have that personal responsibility inside of you. I wish you all the best. And if there's time for questions, I'm happy to answer.